Yeah, my mom was a small town school teacher. She didn't work when we were young, but she worked before that, and then later she went back to work as a teacher. And my dad was a small town lawyer. He actually was in business before, but then when I was in high school, he quit work and he went to law school at UNC at Chapel Hill. So the family moved to Chapel Hill, and so then he became a small town lawyer. And I'd say in an average year, my mother probably made more money as a public school teacher in a tiny county in eastern North Carolina than my father made as a lawyer. In other words, these people were not well-to-do. And so when I say I had a privileged upbringing, it was by no means because of wealth. And they didn't have any feelings one way or another about wealth. I mean, I don't think they cared. I mean, they weren't averse to it. They weren't, communists, let's say. I was a communist as a kid, but I saw the trappings of wealth, and I found it to be so offensive or annoying or something. There was a guy who lived in the town, one town that we lived in as a kid. I moved a lot when I was a kid, as my dad would move with his job. And we lived in a place, and somebody was a big supporter of UNC, the local university in North Carolina, and the color of the school is baby blue. Okay, that's the school color. They deem it Carolina blue, but in any event, he bought a new Rolls Royce, and of course somebody had a Rolls Royce in High Point, North Carolina. It was just ridiculous. He bought a Rolls Royce and he painted it baby blue. He painted his Rolls Royce Carolina blue, and he would drive it to the football games and park it in the parking lot. And it was this sort of plumage, like wearing the vestiges of wealth, vestiges. Anyway, kind of demonstrating his, and I just found it so, it just drove me crazy to see that kind of behavior. And I said, as a young person, I said, that will never be me. I cannot do that. I mean, it'll just drive me, it's worse than distasteful. To me, it kind of crossed a line into wrong, and I can't really define that. Why I say that, but I really had a strong aversion to it. So, by the same token, I had this great background or education, or I knew I could kind of do what I wanted to do, and I wasn't worried about money. I wasn't worried about whether I'd have enough to feed my family. So when I ended up having what by today's standards would be a very small amount of money, but just a ridiculous amount to me, meant I really would not have needed to work again in my life, and I was 30 or something. I was like an anthropologist relative to that. I was an observer of this situation. Like, this is really strange. I concealed it completely, and no one knew. And I didn't change my behavior. I did 3 stupid things. I allowed myself 3 stupid things. One was not stupid, 2 were not stupid. I bought my wife the first new car that we had ever owned. And that was one. And the other is we were building a house.
Was it a Rolls Royce?
No, it was not. It was not.
Yeah,
It was not. But it did cost $30,000, which is a lot of money. For another $30,000, we were in the process of building a house, and I added a wing onto it, a 1-bedroom, little thing sticking off the side of it, so that we could have a guest room in the house, like a first floor guest room. And that cost $30,000 to add to the house that was under construction. And I bought myself a briefcase, a leather briefcase that cost $300. And at that point, I said, okay, I'm done. I've had my midlife crisis or lost my mind. So anyway, I tried hard not to change kind of standard of living. I've complied with that to various failing degrees over the years. But in any event, I just didn't feel like it was mine. I felt like it belonged to society, or I didn't feel a proprietary interest. I didn't feel like, certainly didn't feel like I deserved it, or and I'm not saying I did not work hard. I just thought, I'm a lucky person, and why did this happen? This thing fell on my head. So I had a real sense of kind of responsibility or stewardship responsibility. Like, this is not mine. I need to use this for the benefit of society. And that led to I was very focused on entrepreneurship and corporate startup culture and providing jobs. And so I kind of made a promise to myself that I would only do that with any money that I had. And as a function of that, I've stayed out of public markets ever since. And when I say stayed out, I mean really, really, really stayed out. I don't have any stocks, bonds, mutual funds, any traded investments whatsoever, except for rock, I must say, which is in my 401k. My 401k is my one exception. And so I just said, I want to be an active investor. I want to create jobs. I want to build technologies, build companies. And that's what I should do with my capital. And so that's what I've done for the last 100 years approximately. It's been interesting because I've completely missed the entire run-up in the stock market. The stock market just exploded over that 30-year period. And I've completely missed it and kind of waved at it over there like, oh, hey, good luck, guys.